I've been out all day and I haven't been practicing or keeping up with anything, but I can tell you this. When the Seattle Seahawks went in for their first touchdown in the second half, the guy was splattered with Skittles, and everything that the guy touched in the Skittles commercial turned into Skittles. Big deal. What does it mean? I don't know. But just before that, there was a question asked. What was the question? The Quiznos. It was Quiznos. And that's all they did. And I said it's all about space. It's how the animals are tucked into their space. Everybody's tucked in. They've got us home to the dog. Why? Because the first Super Bowl, the first game this weekend, 16 for New England. NE, 5 and 5, New England Patriots. NE, Patriot is the sound of the light. 16 was their score. Challenging the Denver Broncos. And if you took a look at the horse of the Denver Broncos, the back side of the horse was just the neck. And it showed you the letter E. The energy in the neck, the nostrils, the power of the horse starts within the nose, builds up within the neck and distributes. I don't know how it does. It just does. They scored 26 points. Denver Broncos, 4-2. They brought it to the bed of oysters in Rocky Mountain High. The game ended 26-16, 42 points. We could be asking the next question, is this going to be The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? That's right. Douglas Adams, the glass door, the glass window, what he dug in the ground, the atom of the madman said Sam. And inside the game they played said Sam. The set of 5, genuine 5, Genesis 5. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, number 96, brought on number 42. Why does 96 bring on 42? I'm going to show you one of the reasons right now. The 5 key has the percentage sign on it. The percentage sign is designed from a 6 and a 9. If you put the 6 next to the 9, it designs the percentage sign. 6, 9, and 5 are equivalent in the numerological count as FIVE equals to 42, and where IV equals to 4 inside of 5. That's right, IV inside of 5 says 4. 96, number 42 equals 6, number 5 equals 6, 6 equals 6. We almost have 666 in 3 different natures of the letters. Regardless of the understanding, the better of the fact of why our mind still works, 6 equals number 52, equaling to 7. Equaling to 17, equaling to 8. 9 equals to 42, equals 6 and 8, equals to 5. This becomes 58. 6 and 9 becomes 58. And number 5, the center area, runs to Neptune. You want to say Newton? I was hit on the head with an apple, and now my name is Newton. Neutron, Newton, Newton's theory. What was it? Was it Newton's theory? Correct me on this. Don't forget. Do you know who I am? I'm an undergraduate. I made it out of school with an average of less than 50. I didn't even pass gym. And the language I didn't pass is I had to return to night school for English. There were a lot of nice girls in the class. I wish I could see them today. 22, 23, 24-year-old girls. I was only 18 at the time. Wow. Wasn't that nice? 24-year-olds. Now I'm hoping if they're 44-year-olds, they're still nice. My nicest friends, some of them are guys, and the others are girls. Guys and girls. I even like the animals, too. I'm not an animal. Am I an animal? I didn't shave. I combed it today. But I didn't cut it off, and it snowed 15 centimeters outside. I want to show you this again. Since The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe is 42, and they talked about 9 times 6 is 54. 5, 4, 4, 2. It is the bed that we lie on, B and D. 5 and 4. Okay, this one and this one are the first 2 numbers in pi, but that's not what I want to say. 2 comes from the 58 worlds. The numerological count of TWO is 58. And when we go take the 9, okay, which is number 42, 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 is 8 and 6. 8 plus 6 is 14, 1 and 4 is 5. And when we go to 6, It becomes 40. It becomes 52, which becomes 17. 1 and 7 becomes 8. How does it become 17? Because the numerological count for number 6, XIX, is equal to 52. 5 times 2, 5 plus 2 is 17. 1 and 7 is 8. This is 8. This is 5. The number 2 is 8 and 5 also, all in its own, before I bring any of the calculations out. But if I bring the calculations out of what the numerological value of 2 is, 58. 5 times 8 is 40. 5 plus 8 is 13. Okay, 40 and 13 is 53. 5 and 3 is 8. 2 will now equal 8. 4 and 2, 4 times 2, 4 plus 2 equals 8, and 6 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. This equals 8 and 5, spirit matrix. This equals 4 and 5, spirit matrix. 8 and 5 is 13. 1 and 3 is 4. 4 and 2 becomes 13. 1 and 3 is 4. We have number 44. Both the same. Space. What does it mean when I add up all the numbers and do all that crap? What can it actually mean? I'm not totally 100% sure, other than if I understand what 2 means, it's a combination of something that when I go to the bathroom, it comes out my back end. It calls my ass. How do you call that a number 2? So in retrospect, we'll say number 2 comes out my ass end. So where did it go in? My front end. But did they call this eating 1 or they call this eating chow? You eating jog, chow, who cares? Where are we going to go next? I've got one film here, okay, and clues. Eddie Murphy, M-E initials. The orange ball, the California light of the sun. Why? Because in pool M and E is the 5 ball and the 13 ball. 5 and 4 is 9. 5 by 4 is 20. It's the electronics. The other thing we have to jump to is Lethal Weapon. I told my son to set me up with an arrangement of videos, as he has an elaborate section of videos at his house. So this is what he picks me out. So all that I'm going to watch, I'm going to see stuff that was made 20 and 30 years ago, what's relevant today. The other thing I want to mention, we already spoke about Denver. What about Dallas? Have you ever seen what Dallas looks like? When you go to Dallas, you must go to the stadium. Take a picture of the stadium standing somewhere up in the bleachers. In fact, maybe go outside and take a picture of the Dallas football stadium on this angle. When you look at the Dallas football stadium, it's actually this. Here's the crowd. Here's the background crowd. Here's the background crowd. Here's the crowd all the way over this way, and 2 brackets. A bracket on this side, 1/4 moon. A bracket on this side, the other 1/4 moon. Home team, away team. Let's run up and down the field. We've got 10 yards to run in by. Okay? This is what it looked like, I swear to you. This was the stadium at Dallas. It looked like a 0. It looked like the coin. It looked like the center of a do not enter sign. What else did I see today? Number 52. In fact, there are codes. There are codes for different teams for the design of the number. Because when you look at number 25 for the Seattle Seahawks, the 2 is so close to the 5 and outlined 3 times, and lime and green. Check the colors. We were talking about colors this week. Can I have some lemonade? Oh, wait a second. It's yellow-aid, because lemon is the fruit. Sometimes we call it the fruit. Sometimes we call the fruit the color. What else is there? What else did I see today? What else did I see? What else did I see? I'm trying to think. I wrote it all down on a piece of paper. Did I put any in this pocket here? This is what it is. This was the Dallas Stadium. It looked just like a keyhole, the Dallas field. You turn it this way, it's a do not enter. But you turn the field this way. So if the player is running to the sideline, you would have to say this. So it's all in codes, running to the sideline. Why? What is the width of the field? What is the length of the field? Well, let me tell you one thing. There's one thing I didn't hear today. There's one comment that somehow through all the games I missed today. I didn't hear him mention the red zone very often, and I don't even remember if they mentioned the red zone at all. So if they do mention the red zone, then it's 30 yards from midfield over to the red zone and 20 more yards over for the touchdown. in which you must get 20 yards and the nipple of the football in order to get that touchdown. So you have 30 yards as your creation, and 20 within what they call where the field is narrower from the 20 yards than it is across. And again, how wide is the field again? I forget. Is it 50 yards? What else was there today? Just let's take number 26 and see what happens. We're going to go 16. This was the score today. So if this was the score on one side, 61 gives us 54, 61, 32, 61, 5, 3, 2, 4. 5, 3, 2, 4 is what we were talking about before. We're not going to talk about it anymore. I'm going to take a look and see what I have done. This is the Monopoly game. Okay? We have to remove a couple of properties because we're going from train to train, so we don't get to use this space or this space or this space, or what they actually did. Since we're now in a rectangle world, they split the field here, they move it over, and they put two of these. One here, and then one replica over here. And the train goes around from here, up over here, and around. And it looks like we're going around the sun, but the only sun that's going around is the one that you made if you have a child. It's either your son or your daughter. I want to see, I am way behind, but I have not jumped into, I have not done Phobos the moon. I have not finished reading about Telsa and his copper, the way he put the copper in the air. They didn't want a reflection with any copper, so they had to remove all the copper because Telsa brought out the copper. You guys out there who know about copper, please, if you can, tell me anything. What did Telsa do with the copper, and why did they take away copper from all of us? What was that little bit of copper that could have been in the penny or anything that's included in that penny? We're not talking about a nickel. The nickel is bigger than the penny, and the nickel is bigger than the dime. That makes 11 cents. 5 is bigger than 11. Go figure that out, okay? 5 bigger than 11. We have football. We have time. One thing I wanted to show you about time, 96 minutes. There's 64 metric minutes, and in every minute there's 90 seconds, leaving 96 minutes to an hour. It would take 15 hours a day to make a regular day using this time clock. In the 15 hours, you would have 9 hours where you would be awake, and you would have 6 hours where you would be asleep, or you would have 8 hours awake and 7 hours asleep. But if you slept that 7 hours at 90 minutes, you'd be sleeping 10 hours. So you sleep that 90 minutes at 6. So you're actually 9 hours awake and 6 hours asleep. 6 times the 90 is 9 hours of sleep to 15 hours awake. 1 and 5 is 6, 9 and 6 comes to the same thing again. 6 times 4, 6 plus 4 equals 34. 34 plus 52, E-A-R-T-H, Earth 1 equals 76. We're going to jump off of this and see where else we're going to go. We talked about Telsa. We have to go to sports, because in this sports, there's all kinds. There's commercial codes, who wins codes. If this guy wins, it means this. If that guy wins, it means that. This is low shoe roulette, okay? In roulette, 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, 19, every 3 numbers, all the way to 34. In roulette, like in the telephone, 2, 5, 8, 11, 14, 17, 20, 23, 26, 29, 32, 35. How come I didn't get 35 over there? Anyways, and then in this one over here, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So you run all these numbers here. Then if you want, in Google, on my page, you'll see there's a roulette wheel with all the numbers on it. You replace these numbers with the low shoe numbers. 4, 3, 8, 438, 438, 438. In which when you get to number 10, it shows number 4. Okay? 10 hooks up with 8 over here, which is number 1. So we'd have 8, we'd have 10, and 8 would be 1, and 4 is 5. And then 13 would be 8, and then 11. So we get 20, 29, 39, 43, 53, 59. The Einstein theory pops up right away with low shoe. Where normally you get Michael Jackson 23, where you get Michael Jackson 19 is the moon, and 23 equals to 42. Now I add it up again. You see you had 42 this way, and then the other way you get 59. Both the Einstein theory, because man, 4 by 2 and 4 plus 2, is the skull of man inside his pie, his body. The one spirit of light, 6, is something to do with your gorgle over here, lighting up your life. I just want to tell you one thing. The medication I take for bipolar, they're supposed to calm you down. Because if you're too high and then you go too low, then you get bad reactions, you get depressed, right? Is that true? Never happened to me in my life. They gave me medication that if I shouldn't go too high, so that if I even go close to low, it'll bring me down even lower than low. That's the way I see it. What do you think? Let's get back to this page over here. Also in this, if you want to go to the 777 world, in which is 1 and 6 connect, okay, here's your 1, here's your 6. 6 and 7 is 13. 1 and 4 is 5. That makes your 18. This makes your world a 666 by connecting 1 and 6 on the regular dice, on the regular phone, and adding in the numbers to low shoe inside of it. Different levels, it doesn't matter. It always remains the same. This is low shoe 22. Section 4, MDV, the value is 3. 22 with Grover Cleveland, okay, who was numbered the 24th president, which is over here, 24, equals to 31. 31 and 25 is 56. This is crying at the wolf. We are now getting communication and crying at the wolf, speaking to the moon with Grover Cleveland over here. Low shoe 3. Low shoe 6. Creation of 666. And it repeats the same thing. Here it gets number 24. The time of the day, 2 by 4, 2 plus 4 equals 8. 8 and 6 equals number 5. You understand? I took low shoe and I put it in. And then here. Here's an area here and an area here. This thing spins. As it spins, the energy's always coming in over here, and then you're going and living life this way. You can't do it both ways unless this is inside another world, and then the circle goes around that world, so one world turns in the other world, supported by a third world. This is low shoe. Take the roulette and just keep putting your low shoe numbers. The first low shoe number you put is 4. The second one is 3. The third one is 8. And you keep going 4, 3, 8 all the way down. The second thing with low shoe, you'll be putting 9, then you'll be putting 5 and 1, and you'll be going all the way down. And the same thing, and then add the numbers together. Now, if you want, you can do the duplication to try and understand what 13 and 3 will do together in this area. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 will equal to your jack. Well, jack is now number 10. It equals A, B, C, D. And at 13 years old, you have your bar mitzvah in the spirit line. Your bar mitzvah connects to 10 and 8 and 11, which saying man is now on the moon, he has his bar mitzvah. But with a girl, it's different. She's at 12 years old, and her bar mitzvah is over here. You see where she comes onto the cross? It totals up to 14. She gets 2 worlds of 2, 1, and 2. That's 100 degrees Celsius. That's 100 degrees Celsius, 212 Fahrenheit. 2, 1, and 2 makes the 5 dice. She's the E-world passage in the 3 position of creation. You have a picture frame? This is one end that holds it in. Don't forget there's going to be 2 ends. This is what happens when you connect 2 books, okay? It doesn't do this. It'll do this forever and ever and ever. But this is what we're always saying, hey, how come it's not going up? How come it's staying like this? Your world is always like this, okay? But your life is always like this. Because you don't rise. You don't rise. How can I say it? You're not doubling up. You're just going forward. So when we're making the square around your life, okay, it's going forward and forward and forward. It doesn't have to go up. You're never going up. You're always the same height, aren't you? But you're continuously going forward. The last thing I'm going to say about Lo Shu, 1 and 4, 2 and 9, 3 and 2. This is your ABCD of Lo Shu right here. 7, 5, 2, 5. 5, 2, 5, 7, 52, and 57. This is Earth, and this is the year of the moon right now. 52 divided by 13 is 4. 57 divided by 3 is 19. You have 19 and 4. 4 times 19. 4 times 19 equals to 68. This is the year, 68 and 24. They go together to make the 10-10 world. The other thing, take a look at the Seattle Seahawks. S and S. Take a look. What's a Seahawk? Can somebody tell me what a Seahawk is? Because when I look at that Seahawk, it looks like the all-seeing eye to me, right there, mugging, trying to mug the 49ers off their roll. And they're the highest. The highest. If you want to go to the highest playing sports team in North America, you tell me something that's higher than Seattle. Well, actually, if you go down to Colorado, it seems like everybody's getting high. A new code word for somebody getting high? Breaker, breaker, 10-4. We got somebody getting high. Are you kidding me? I remember being down in Houston, Texas, and a guy in the front of my truck saying to me, hey, buddy, you want to pull over to the Waffle House? Maybe we'll light one up in the back. I got some really good shit on me. And we got out there, and we smoked some big bangers out there in Houston, Texas, went into the Waffle House. I ate like a pig, and who walks in? The police walk in. I was nervous as shit. But I wasn't driving, so what was wrong with it? What else should I actually talk about? You want to talk about bookends? You know where bookends actually get cut off of? Where the inside, when you make a line on square paper, it always goes like this. So if you chop it off, I got two bookends, and inside I got a square. Raphael 7286. Very much back behind in my work. If you have any questions and want me to do a number thing on something, all I do is compare. I look at things, I compare, and I keep throwing it around until it talks to me. And that's all I can tell you. It's like saying, well, there's a God. Well, if there is a God, then there's these natural elements that help people read astrology. They learn, they reflect. Some people just say, okay, this is what I learned. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is, but you have to have the reflection, and that's where I like to say I can step in. And there's great receptors out there. There's Terry S., there's Janu, and she makes the greatest digital art that definitely partakes in what's going on in the world right now. There's M&M, in which, wow, he's got a lot of numbers to look over. There's she tells the truth, the whole truth, but nothing but the truth. And she's always bringing up these really cool things. And I want to know where Old Spice comes from. Is it Irish? Is it Scottish? Because I'm telling you, I got this big thing for this place. I want to know about the land. This land is your land. This land is my land. From Nova Scotia, I don't know, maybe to Ireland. Hireland. Hires root beer. Admire the land and all the places with land in it, and then all the places with N-A in it. Let's break up all the countries in the world and see what means what according to their flag, according to their name, and see what little bit we come up with. It takes a long time to make a little bit have any value at all. I know that. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. This is my latest picture. Do you see the leg over here? You see the claw over here? The pig over here? Here's another arm. Here's the body sticking out. It's what you can imagine within your own. It ain't really much more than me wiping off my paintbrush. But I want to thank you. My cousin, thank you for watching. Don't forget, Mad. We said Mad. We said Sam. What about the Addams family? And what about Adams Sandler? What about Bewitched? Does anybody out there, if anybody out there, I'd like a comment from this. Listen, I have 200 views on average, okay? I want a comment on everybody, okay, on this question. Do you think there is a real world, another real world out there, and we really are spiritually blocked to being able to see all these worlds, and all these diseases that are going on have been caused by societies who wish us ill will other than goodwill for where we live. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. This is where I'm at in the picture, right here, somewhere here. Thank you for watching.